He risked his life to save a stray dog from being hit by a car. But what the dog did right after shocked him and left the entire town speechless. Subscribe to Minutes of Moral for more emotional, true inspired stories that reveal the unexpected beauty of life. Like, comment, and share to spread this message of kindness. Liam was driving home late one rainy evening. The road was slick with water, headlights reflected off the pavement like scattered stars, and the sound of raindrops drumming on the windshield filled the silence. It had been a hard day. Actually, it had been a hard month. Liam had just lost his job 2 weeks ago, a downsizing that came without warning, and rent was due in 5 days. His fridge was nearly empty, and his savings were down to double digits. Life, it seemed, was stacking burdens on his shoulders, one after another. He was on autopilot, thoughts swirling, heart heavy, when something darted into his peripheral vision. Through the heavy downpour, he spotted a small dog, soaking wet and visibly trembling, trapped in the middle of the road. Its tiny frame froze under the blinding glare of approaching headlights. Every few seconds, another car sped by, missing the dog by inches. Horns blared, drivers shouted, but no one stopped. Liam's foot slammed the brakes. His instincts kicked in before logic had a chance to argue. He yanked open the door, sprinted into the rain, dodging puddles and weaving through angry traffic. As he neared the center of the road, a massive delivery truck barreled toward him. For a split second, the air froze. Headlights, rain, thunder, everything held its breath. Liam scooped the dog into his arms and leapt aside just as the truck screamed past, missing them by mere inches. His heart pounded like a war drum. The dog, despite being soaked and cold, gently licked his face. It was a simple gesture, but in that moment, it meant the world. "You're safe now, little buddy," Liam whispered, holding the trembling creature close. Back in his apartment, Liam wrapped the dog in his only clean towel. He turned on the space heater, fetched a can of tuna, the last thing in his pantry, and poured it into a bowl. The dog, clearly starving, devoured it gratefully. As Liam dried him off, he noticed a worn leather collar around the dog's neck. It looked old, like it had been through weeks of rain and dirt. Underneath the buckle, barely visible, was a small silver tag. He tilted it under the light. Max, and a phone number. Liam stared at the tag for a moment. He hadn't expected this. He thought Max was just another stray. Something told him this dog had a story. He picked up his phone and dialed the number. It rang once, twice, then, "Hello?" a frail voice answered. "Hi, I found a dog. His tag says Max. There was a pause, then a gasp. "Is this about Max? Oh dear God, I've been searching for him for weeks. I thought he was gone forever." Liam's heart clenched. The emotion in the man's voice was overwhelming. They spoke for a few minutes, and the man, Mr. Peterson, gave him his address and promised to be there the next morning. The next day, just after sunrise, a weathered old sedan pulled into Liam's driveway. The door creaked open, and out stepped an elderly man, hunched with shaking hands. But his eyes lit up the moment he saw Max. "Max!" he cried, his voice cracking. The dog bolted toward him, tail wagging like a flag in the wind. Max jumped into his arms and licked his face, whining with joy. The old man dropped to his knees on the wet gravel, sobbing. "Max is all I have left," he whispered. "He's not just a dog. He's my family." He turned to Liam, tears still running down his cheeks. "You saved him, and you saved me. I don't even know how to begin to thank you." Liam didn't know what to say. All he could do was smile softly. The man straightened up and hesitated. "Would you join me for coffee, please?" Liam nodded. Inside the man's modest home, over coffee and biscuits, they talked for hours. Liam learned that Mr. Peterson had lost his wife 2 years ago, and Max had been her dog. After she passed, Max became his sole companion, the last living tie to a woman he deeply loved. Then Mr. Peterson asked, "What do you do for work, son?" Liam hesitated. "Actually, I was laid off a couple weeks ago. Been trying to get back on my feet." There was a moment of silence. Then Mr. Peterson chuckled. Fate's a funny thing. He walked to a cabinet and pulled out a leather folder. Inside were documents and business cards. "I own a few local hardware stores," he said. "Small family business, but enough to keep me busy. I've been looking for someone reliable, someone with heart, to help manage one of them. Someone I can trust." He looked Liam in the eye. "You ran into traffic to save a dog you didn't even know. That tells me everything I need to know about your character." Liam blinked. "Are you offering me a job?" "I'm offering you a chance." That evening, Liam sat in his car, parked in front of his apartment, stunned. His life had changed in less than 24 hours, all because he didn't ignore a wet, frightened animal in the rain. Weeks passed. Liam settled into his new role. The job wasn't glamorous, but it was steady. He made enough to pay rent, stock his fridge, and finally sleep without that tight knot of stress in his chest. Max would visit the store with Mr. Peterson from time to time, trotting proudly beside him like a little celebrity. Customers adored him, and many recognized Liam from the story that had spread across town like wildfire. Local newspapers had picked it up. "Hero saves dog in rainstorm, receives job in return." A local radio station even interviewed him briefly. But for Liam, none of that mattered as much as the quiet truth he carried in his heart. One small act of kindness, one moment of courage, had redirected the course of his entire life. Life lesson? Sometimes saving a life doesn't require grand gestures. Sometimes it's stopping your car, stepping into the rain, choosing compassion over convenience. Liam saved a stray dog, and in return, the dog saved him. Would you stop your car to save an animal? Tell us in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe to Minutes of Moral, where every small act can lead to life's greatest surprises.